Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian. Join us at this, crazy kind of practice. And hello, Lauren. Welcome to our practice as well. We may not be doing anything crazy like our handstands or cartwheels today. However, I read an article yesterday and it said the key to life was doing handstands.
Oh.
Or maybe that was just my really selfish interpretation of the article. Have fun. Let's play. Let's check in with our bodies first. And if you do want to do the handstand, Wednesdays at 4:30 and Saturday morning at 9. Check it out. There's something for everyone. Let's get started today with our breath and into some balances. Hands on bellies, wide stance, narrow stance, lay down or sit down. We're going to close our mouth, breathe in through the nose, filling the belly full of air, and exhale, also through the nose. And as you just get into that breathing pattern with a closed mouth and in through the nose, I'll tell you that on our bike ride the other day, Lauren was making sure that I was breathing in and out of my nose on the ride. See where you can do that in your own daily life. Let's take one breath out. If you haven't already, let's exhale. And we'll continue with 4-second inhales here. 1, 2, in through the nose for 4 seconds. And follow with a 4-second exhale. Continue adding pauses. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, fill your belly. Hold for 4, 3, 2, exhale with control. And hold. Add challenges to this movement by bracing, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Exhale. And hold. And chill. Try to continue to breathe through the nose as you go forward. Amazing persons in history like the Queen and Barack Obama breathe through their nose, as do most of those athletes you see on the tri-bikes or elsewhere. Breathe through that nose. Let's work on that balance from here on out. On a single leg, take away a base of support. Is that easy? Did your foot curl up? Could you keep your foot tripod being the heel of that foot, the big toe mound, and the pinky spreading and heavy? Return to 2 feet and switch. Whoa, did you list? Did you turn? Did you have to compensate? Or can you change your balance pretty easily? Spend a couple more seconds on that other foot, heavy on that heel pad, heavy on the big toe pad, spreading the pinky and down. Take a moment on 2 of those pads now, being the front big toe and the lateral pinky, and hold a nice tall balance for 5, 4, squeeze your bum, brace your core, ribs down, and nice and slow, returning with straight knees. Repeat one more time, up to the balls of those feet. Hang out for a second, rib cage down, crown of head tall, and nice and slow returning to the floor. Looking closer, maybe Lauren, could you stand a little closer to the camera there? Looking at Lauren's feet, we'll be nice and tall, squeezing our glutes, rib cage down. Dorsiflex the ankle, meaning pull the foot to the shin. We're aiming to keep flat toes, so check out Lauren's toes there and then give us a sights back on your own. Hold that for 2 more seconds and place down. Alternate to the other side. Keeping the hips extended, likely is to hinge. For 3 more seconds, push the hip forward, lifting up the foot and down. Repeat one more time each side. Dorsiflexion, pushing the hip forward, driving that heel pad down. Return, and alternate, same thing, pulling up to the shin. Nice flat toes there, Lauren. Now, for something crazy, try both. Maybe grab that balance aid, or maybe just see what your challenge can be to try to lift and only balance on that heel pad while being tall. Hips forward, ribs down, and nice and slow down. Let's just shake that out. Wiggle, wiggle at those ankles. Nice. And we'll do that just one more go again. Wider base, narrow base, your choice. butt squeeze, stiff knees, extension through. I'll have to do one at a time, and there will be that little weight shift back. We're trying to minimize that. I'm having a tough time getting my left toe up there. So I'm just gonna switch, extend my hips, try to hold it like Lauren there for a second, and then slow down. And again, a little bit of the wiggle. From here, we're gonna balance on a single leg again. And one of our classic exercises here, which we'll get into, would be the femur bone on my left here, moving around the hip. For this exercise, more like our movement clock, the hips are gonna move around. So if we were to take a single leg and point it to the front, squeeze the standing leg butt cheek and turn the hips towards open, keeping a foot on the floor. Very slow, return to the front. And again, the straight leg isn't doing too much. Now from here, can we try crossing that midline? Personally, I can't get too far here. With Lauren's internal rotation on the hip, she'll probably be able to get a little bit further than me. And then nice and slow, return to center. Push that leg underneath, repeat on the other side. A light tendu to the front, keep those hips level and keep contact with the floor. Rotating on that femur, we're gonna open up and try to face a new corner with hips level, squeezing glutes nice and tall. Then with slow control again, we'll come across the body. And again, we're asking standing leg hip to reach up and forward to let that other leg go center. Repeat one more time on the original leg. To the front. This time, go across your body first. To the front. Are you still tall on that standing leg? Slow return to center. Make the movement from that standing leg, not the elevated or light lateral leg here. And then return to center. And can we do that one more time? So across, same leg there, Lauren, same leg. So can we add on across the body, nice and tall in those hips, to center, and then gripping with those toes, making sure we're nice and strong here. Return to center and under. Final time, 2 repetitions, alternate leg, tendu to front. Back up, Lauren, you're getting chopped off there now, sorry. Yeah. So tendu to that front, cross the body, tall on that supporting leg, and nice and control, then open to the other corner. Keep the hip extended, meaning bums and hips pushing forward, and return to center again, or leg out front. And again, last repetition, move on that standing or plant leg, pulling up, nice tension on those lateral glutes and IT bands, I think. And then last corner over here. Return to the front, underneath, and let that wiggle out. And hopefully that woke up some things in a fun, polite way.
It did.
We'll hopefully come back to that maybe in our movement clock near the end, where we'll step out, and again, thinking about pushing and receiving that load. For now, we'll go to our balance aid. So grab your chair, your kitchen counter, the back of the piano, whatever you have there, a stable office chair. Grab on. I like being in the center, so let's just pretend I have my chair right here. From this position, we'll pull up here. Maybe here is that ankle position, or maybe here is, say, the knee. Next, I want us to think about taking that leg across the body, but it really will only get, there we go. The leg will really only get to the lateral part here. Now from there, send that knee towards the side with the foot staying relatively close to the hip, and then reaching to the back with control. And that's where my lateral bum right here says, holy. And then we'll reach towards the back. Pull that leg straight underneath as to line up with my leg or that pillar behind me, and pull the knee forward. It might just come past the standing leg. Repeat to the back, extend. And now I'm going to try to show you my foot on the back side of my body there. Can you see it peeking through? So our foot is on that lateral side over here. We'll try to bring it underneath the hip, making a number 4 shape or similar, and then pull to center. Try to overcross over there, and then return the leg to straight. Let's alternate to the other side. Standing tall on the inside leg. It could be low like this coup de pied ankle position, or slightly higher at the knee. After that, our intention is to take the foot towards over across the body, and then send that energy out of the hip as it goes towards the side, keeping that foot mostly under the hip again. And from here, we'll reach out and lateral, lifting up and over this hurdle. You might be able to see my foot peek through at the back. And then we're going to pull in, parallel legs, slightly flexed hip, if you will, or knee forward on the elevated leg. Now repeat to the back in our hip extension with a bum squeeze. The rotation to try to show you that foot out the back maybe. And then the foot's going to stay underneath as we go nice and slow to the center position. And then gently ride the leg down. Is that okay?
Great.
Great. Let's just add on to that for one quick moment. We'll start low, and we can, again, raise up if we need. From the coup de pied position, foot at the ankle, keep the standing leg hip extended or facing forward, and with the elevated leg, try to cross the body with this butt cheek here. Then open up to the side. At that point to the side, you may be able to flex or lift higher. Grab onto this tension on this lateral bum cheek and pull across the body, closing the hip. Try to overcross and get the knee over there. Slowly open up at that same level. Extend the hips, perhaps from the hip flexor and other muscles, but not the core. Pull the knee up. Cramp up the glute and pull towards across the body. Take away that daylight. Try to get the knee over here. I'd like to do that one more time. If we could, we're going to extend the standing leg, opening to that second position. Maybe we could flex or lift the hip high. Holy, that's a little bit harder for me. And then last time, we're going to close that up, take away the daylight there, cross the body, and then very slow return the leg, either in Lauren's nice hip extension, like a car, say, or just gently down the body. Last time, other side. We're tall, grabbing onto the balance aid as we need, and pulling to coup de pied. Extend the hip, the standing leg, and slowly open to the side. At that point, maybe lift up a millimeter, cramp onto the glutes, and drive that leg across the body from the butt. Typically, people would want to recruit from these adductors. It's not wrong. Open that up slow. But the power is in the butt. So from here, we're going to lift up maybe, cramp up this glute here on this right side elevated, and try to pull that back across the body, keeping the standing leg hip pointing forward. Slow to open, final repetition here. We'll open, the hips are level. We might be able to raise up 1 more millimeter, and then nice and slow to close with tension and control, and then the extension of the hip to the back, or just gently straight down. From here, we're going to get into some of our upper body movements and challenge some of our balance positions in the meantime as well. You may have that balance aid close, or challenge yourself in the center of the room. First, we'll open up to our squatting stance or something similar. And at that rib cage right now, we're going to try to slide from side to side here. Side to side slides. Lauren has those hands out. My hands are on the rib cage or abs. But can you gently encourage that little lateral motion here? Cool. Then, facing the same way, squeeze your butt for tension and control. And then flex, balance, flex or round that upper back and extend forward. Flex and round the upper back and extend forward. Flex and round, all good? And forward. And return to center. There you go. Nice. So if we're at a theme park right now, we were on the slides. We just went to the little peekaboos. But what about those Ferris wheels? Let's try to make our rib cage and spine move in this direction here. Widen your base of support at the feet. Cramp your butts. We're going to slide to a left. Pull down on those abs and grip down as we slide across. Lift up slightly. Pull across the top. Pull down. Grip those abdominals as we pull across. And then return center. Twice the other way. Gentle slide to my right here. I'll compress or pull down my rib cage onto my hips. Sliding across, maintaining tension on my core. Slide up and over. And final repetition to the side. Down. Slide across. Center. And relax. Last exercise like that. A little bit of an exploration here. No one's seeing you, I promise. Do your chin tuck. Do your upper back flex. Push your heart forward. And flex then back. Can we do a nice upper body roll? And when we do, can we then try to think about where that would go, say, to the lower body and how we can try to slowly integrate a little bit of that body roll going this way. Upper body rolls, lower body rolls. Feel that, yeah, the other way could be cool. A little bit frustrating sometimes too if it doesn't move, but gently play with those movements here because when you reach in the fridge, it's gonna happen. The spine will be in weird places. We want it to brace, as we will in our planks shortly, and we also want it to be nice and supple. From here, I'm gonna ask Lauren to grab a dumbbell from the windowsill there, so that does look good. And again, after about 4 or 5 repetitions there, it became a little more fluid. So here we have a very light dumbbell. Grab a rolling pin, a dumbbell, one of our exercise clubs. Join us on the floor here. We'll work through some nice arm bars, some planks, and continue with our squat. If we had a light dumbbell, we'll take it into this racks position where we can press from and all those fun things. The leg that we can touch, we'll step to the back, taking our time, pulling ourselves to the ground. Then we could open up that hip. This is also called that windmill. If you have a dumbbell, is your arm vertical? Check, check. Sweep, elbow, and then push off. The arm bar is one of our bell basic exercises. So if you're unsure what's going on, check out the basic video series for the kettlebell and find troubleshooting and cueing for the arm bar. For those who are familiar with our arm bar, we have our position in the cuddle. From the cuddle, we'll roll to our back, and I'll press with 2 hands for now. I'll take the hand that's not holding the kettlebell or dumbbell off, and then flexing the shoulder, meaning placing overhead on the ground. If you're wearing your hair where I am, it might not be so great. Pull that pony a little bit low, maybe. From this position, making sure the overhead arm is okay, extend the hip, pushing through the bent leg, place the head on the arm, and hold this position for a second. Return to the back with control. Push through the floor like a hip extension. Is your shoulder with the load or the straight arm up top moving with the hip? Return to your back. For one more time, then we'll stay there. Move that hip and the shoulder in a roll pattern as you extend through the hip. The head goes on the arm. And then with that bent leg, could you hook the foot on the back side of the knee and place a knee on the floor. From here, maybe unhook that foot at the knee and try to slide towards the floor. Is that an upper back stretch? Is that an upper back strain? Check in on that position and repeat. I'll pull my hips to a stacked position now, perpendicular with the floor, and then extending my hip, I'll try to flatten out the hips to get it towards touching the ground. Take your time returning to a stacked position. Roll to your backside then. Return 2 hands to your literal or imaginative bell, and then pull down to the hip and return in our cuddle. You're gonna see my butt for a second, but then you won't see it as much anymore after that. Okay, here we go. We're in our cuddle position now on the other side. Ooh, that's not the other side. This would be the other side. So on the other side, then we're gonna press to what we call this firing range position. At this point, we'll take away the free hand, place an arm over head, and packing a shoulder, pushing through the hip, extend. That should be the position of the arm, and a load sometimes helps that. I was over there. So you want to be nice and vertical with that arm as we return to the ground or the back. How did you get in that roll? We pushed through the hip, connecting the ribs and the hips together in a roll pattern. Hold for a 1/1000. Take your time as you return to your back. Make sure that overhead arm is okay with that flexion in the shoulder. And for one last rep, we'll push through the hip in extension. We'll hook the foot on the back of the knee. That leg can slowly come down. Breathe into that. Maybe unhook that foot now. And then if we extend the hip in a rotation pattern, we can then return to a stacked hip position. And for one more time, extend that hip, encourage that rotation roll to the back with tension control, return. 2 hands on that bell apparatus up top, pull down, cuddle, and stay on the ground. From here, we're gonna get into our high plank. Hallmarks of our high plank, if Lauren could just do one quickly, whoops, include a push-up or similar to get to the tall position. But head, shoulders, nice straight line. Maybe we have to modify that from our knees. Oops, there, on the knees, there we go. And then tuck under a little and just think about that nice line and creating tension. By creating tension, rest, you're good, rest for a second. Creating tension includes squeezing the bum, bracing the core, pulling on the floor. Make it the hardest 10-second plank you safely can. Let's join. My hands are just under my shoulders with wide open fingers. Blood donations forward, armpits low. Establish my plank's position. Lauren likes to lift her bum up just a little bit and then tuck under those hips to establish that nice plank's position. Push the floor away and squeeze your bum, go. 10 seconds of the threat of Lauren coming through that TV screen and sitting on your back for 2, 1, casually put your knees down. Rest for a second. So for cycling, core stability. Drive those legs, maintain a strong core. Kettlebells, use your abs. Handstands, use your abs. Here we go. Sitting, use your abs. One more time, planking position, bum up a little bit high if you want, then connect those ribs, hips in a tuck, squeeze your bum, cramp up, and for 10 seconds, Lauren's gonna jump through that screen and sit on your back. Could it support for 4, 3, 2, casually down on those knees. Now, lift the knees and walk yourself to a squat position. Ooh, what does that mean? Maybe you have to widen your feet a little bit. Walk yourself towards your safe squat position. Both of us are right. What is your squat? What is your squat stance? What is your squat? Figure out our squats with us here. Have fun. Is that a stretch? Is that a strain? Stay away from those pinches. Celebrate some of those cramps. Let's spend 5 more seconds in your squat and then we'll walk back out to our plank. Lower in a squat or walk out to plank now. High tension planks, 10-second rounds starting now. And the now includes those armpits that pull low, the butt that squeezes, abs that brace, the control of the breath for 2, 1, casually put those knees down. Avoid the child's pose at this point. Try to keep that upper back in extension. Take a break. Let's elevate those knees or from your modified position. And one last time, push the floor away, squeeze the bum, brace the core. 10, 9, 8, breathing, squeezing, and off. From here, lift those knees. Could we walk ourselves back towards that squatting position? And are you lower than before? Maybe this is a little drastic, but gently ask for permission to get into those low places, and we'll get out of those as well. Let's get back into that position and finish one more time with our arm bar on the floor. Take our time pulling ourselves in our squat. Pull those heels together. At your safe length, think nose over toes a little bit. Knees down. And let's cuddle that kettlebell one more time.
Cuddle.
Cuddle. So again, I'll show you my butt first, and then you'll see a little bit more what's going on. So in our cuddle, packing a shoulder, taking a breath, and rolling to our back in a press. Arm overhead. And with that arm overhead, extend the hip of the bent leg to be on our sideline. At that point now, let's just unhook this foot right away. That's a really hard move to do slow. So it lands. And then maybe at this time, straighten out that leg at the hip and the knee. So now your legs are more parallel. Maybe stay there or join me back here with my bent knee. And extend the hip in a rotation. Pull the hip back to a stacked position and check in on the shoulder. Are we still locked in? If we feel safe and good, 2 more repetitions to extend that hip in our rotation. Pull or stack the hip back. And I wear pants for this exercise for sure. One more time. It does maybe rub on that inside knee. And then last one, pull. Take your time returning to your back. The 2 hands on, the pull down, and switch to the other side. Cuddle position, packing shoulders, taking a breath. Whoa! Foot to the face would not be good. Here, this will be a fun angle here. So just like Lauren will go overhead with that right arm, or your other arm, and extend the hip. Drive over there through a hip extension rotation. Check. Then unhook that back foot, place it on the other side of the body. Maybe extend that leg for 1 and try to get that top hip towards the floor. And then let's just bend that back knee again. And from here, we'll extend in a roll pattern and then stack the hip. And repeat 1 last repetition of our hip extension or roll rotation. 1 more time to stack. Onto our back. 2 hands. Pulling it down to the body and returning to that cuddle. Planking time, 1 last go. 1 repetition only. 10 seconds of intensity. And Lauren's going to jump through and level the floor. Okay, here we go. Planking position, whether you get into it like Lauren through a push-up or you're with me on my knees here. Let's step out to our high planks position. Lift your bum a hair. Tuck under those hips. Lean so the shoulders are over top of hands. And for 10 seconds, pull the floor together. Squeeze your buttocks. Brace your core. Pull your kneecaps up. Breathe. And remember that I can't count. So we're doing this for like 3 more seconds. 3, 2, casually, knees down. Take a quick moment. Could we walk back to that squats position? Nose over toes, and then trying to sit with your bum below your knees. Nice hallmark of our squat. Hang out here for 5 or so seconds. Let's take a collective breath in and brace to up. And relax. Nice. From here, we're going to continue to work on a couple lunge movements, inclusive of some push-ups. And just again, we've been doing this a little bit as part of this practice. Mirror me a little bit here. So if you could, hands out front. Maybe that's the top position of your push-up or your plank you just showed. Maybe for your push-up, you want to be wide. Personally, I can't go this wide. My hands would be right about here for a push-up. Where are yours? Now, the hands are going to stay in a, not literally the same position, but about the same position there relative to my chest height. And now pull the elbows back. Where did your elbows end up? Again, we want to aim to be 45 or similar degrees here at the shoulder, towards down there, but we're really trying to avoid the elevated shoulder. So gently shake that out and repeat one more time. Arms are heavy. Arms out front. We have that nice wrist extension. Okay, where do you like them for your push-up? Just figure that out. And then as you pull your shoulder blades together here for this drill, are you in a good, safe, strong position? Or do we feel like we're shrugging and a little more vulnerable? Relax that out. Modify your push-up stance as you need. And let's play with our strength in the push-up and the lunge. I have to do an extra lunge. Lauren made us do lunges last night. We'll see how this goes. This is not for me. This is for you. My legs are going to feel torched. How was your run today?
It was okay.
Yeah?
They were okay.
Okay, good. So here we are. We're going to take a gentle stab back of a leg and make sure that this front knee is as vertical as possible. It can tolerate some of that knee over toe, but try to commit to vertical shin. Take 10, 9, 8, 7, as we pay attention to the foot or the sickled foot in the back, the hip extension of this back leg, and taking our time to get low. Let's return to standing, pushing the floor away. Drive forward through the front leg and back through the rear leg. Repeat one more time, taking your time to get low. 9, 8, 7, 6. Nice and control to down. Now stack both knees, hands in that pressing or push-ups position. Modify your stance as needed. Wood floors are hard, so get something softer as you need for sure. And from your modified position or your high plank or push-ups position, perform one repetition of your push-up. Take a breath in, full body tension, pull yourself to the ground and press away. Who's with me? One more. Breath in, full body tension, yep, and press. Put those knees down. How's your push-up coming along? Should we be up here showing that we can modify our push-up by being on an elevated surface? Are you on your knees or in your full push-up? Please modify, and again, check out those basic series for suggestions. Now, return the leg in front as you did a second ago and stand back up. So for me, that was my left leg in front, leveling the hips, and drive the front foot forward, the back leg back, and stand to tall. Repeat on the other side. Take that stab back in the lunge. Extend that back hip, pushing forward. And then here, we're scissoring or pulling in over the count of about 5. Yeah, I need more room as well, just like Lauren did for 3 and 2. And nice and controlled down. When you're down, are we level? Figure out those hips. Create tension by pushing forward through the front and reverse through the back. Straighten the back leg if you can. Front knee could stay bent. Then same thing, extend that hip forward in the back leg. Nice and slow. Pulling in on the front leg and pushing through on the back. And then extend the hip in the back. Oh, stay low, my mistake, stay low. And then we're underneath here. Establish your push-up. What's the hardest place in your push-up? Could we practice some holds? Let's practice our flexed arm holds or our bent arm strength here and get towards your safe low, which might be about 90 degrees or just a little bit lower. Modified as you need, or high planks position. Establish your nice tension through the full body. Take a sniff, preferably through the nose, and squeeze your bum, brace your core. Get to your safe, challenging low position for 4, 3, 2, knees down, press away. I say 4 the funniest when I'm under stress in our push-up. I honestly do. Fear. Okay, here we go though. We're gonna do it one more time. Establish your high planks or a safe modified position. Pull yourself to your safe low for 3, 2, my knees down. I'm gonna press away.
Just skip 4 and 5.
Then I can say it. 3. From here, we'll put the leg out front that returned us to the ground most recently. So that's my right, personally. And then push the front leg forward, the back leg back, and stand up forward onto that front foot. And relax. We're gonna do that again, one more time. 2 lunges in a row with a push-up, switching out. Take that stab back. Keep the back leg straight at this point, pushing the hip forward. Pull the foot in the back down and into the ground forward as you maintain Lauren's awesome up-down line of the lunge. Now press that energy away as we stand right back up. Take 10 seconds in our ascent again. 9, 8. Keep that back hip pulling forward or pushing forward rather as this leg flexes or pulls in. And then to stand up with control. Switch to the other side. A leg to the back. Do you have an easy side, hard side? This is my tough one. So start with that straight leg in the back. Pull the leg forward. Stay tall. Emulate Lauren's up, down in regards to that pillar in the back. Take your time coming down. Balance, check. Push the front leg forward. Back leg back and straighten the back leg only. Front leg can stay slightly flexed or bent. For one more time, pull forward. Avoid that sickle foot in the ankle that I felt and called myself out a second ago. Push forward. Take your time. Drive away from the body. Balance and stand to tall. Who's with me for one more push-up?
Me.
Great. Get to the floor anyhow you like. Maybe it's your fold, maybe it's your hinge, maybe it's the get up or squat. I'll fold. Folding to the ground, keeping my hips, knees, ankles stacked. We'll walk out to our high planks position now. Repeat any numbers of push-ups to your liking. Lauren, we're gonna do 20 or what?
5 is nice.
Okay, 5. Yeah, I like 5s too. We're gonna work to 5. What are you working on at home? Take your time. Let's go 1 and 2. Full body tension. And there's our 2. Full body tension. 3, 4, and 5.
I'm tired.
And rest. It was a good workout last night. Take our time coming up.
Oh.
Maybe let's get on our back. Let's channel Lauren here. Let's get on our back since we're down low. Let's get into that get-ups position now. Packing shoulders, extending through the hip, pulling, pushing on the arm, sitting tall, bridging, sweeping, extending, switching, stepping, thinking all the time.
Wishing
and yeah, that too. From here to finish, we'll work on some of our weight transfers, as for the movement clock, and some nice balance skills.
Okay.
Parallel feet. We warmed up our balance from parallel. Please feel free to come back to those movements if the next series of movements is a little bit not to your wanting at this point. But from here, pivot out on the first. Hands hips, hands holsters, hands wherever you want them. Squeeze your bum, straighten your knees, push down to go up. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, And now 5, 4, 3, 2, down. Repeat one more time. Squeeze your bum, brace your core. Nice full tension. Push down to go up. We're trying to keep those big toe mounds or toe pads on lateral and medial sides of that foot. Heavy, heavy, heavy. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. From here, it's fondu open to second. Great. From here, let's shift our weight over the side. Push back to center. Knee over toe, hips level, push back to center.
Oh, yeah, that always gets that.
Out to the side. Now, could we think about offloading this side? I'll personally have to shorten up a little bit again. Hold, tap down, full heel, transfer slide. It straightens as the other one bends. Could we hit that weight transfer here? Toe, ball, heel, pushing across, lifting up, toe, ball, heel, pull across, lift up, toe, ball, heel on the landing, pull to center this time. Actually, I think we have one more. Pull to center, and oh, okay.
I went that way first.
Woo. And relax. As a quick example, we always try to work on some strength, some endurance, and then words like flexibility and mobility, what the heck do they mean? Flexibility in this case means I have the flexibility to get here. The mobility component comes in when now I try to lift that leg. I'm flexible enough to be here, but I can't really do anything once I'm here. I'll have more success on that drill if I have a slightly smaller second position, but a place where I'm actually able to lift that leg. We'll do that again in a second. Challenge your stance to a wide stance, but work in a place where you're still strong. One more time in our first position balance here, and maybe we're gonna try to find one leg, so maybe have that balance aid close by. Squeeze your bum, brace your core, up to 2. Push your load over one foot. In this case, Lauren's leaning right and I'm leaning left. Could we take off a leg and hold? And even connecting it to that coup de pied position would kind of be the ultimate at this point here. Tap down, weight transfer to the other leg, tall, 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 drive down to grow up. I'm shooting energy out of my eyeball up this way as we try to get to coup de pied here. And then down on 2 feet. Return heels. Shake that out. Let's do that one last time, final time for today. Parallel feet, check, check. Pivot on heels to first. Push down to grow up. Weight transfer, pushing to one side. I just saw Lauren shoot energy at that eyeball. Recommend you do the same. And then nice and slow, hold the balance as the maybe statement. And then to 2 feet, over top, nice and slow, and try to find that single leg balance here. And if you can't, like I'm struggling right now, just find 2 feet instead, own it, and then nice and control down. A little bit of a wiggle. We'll finish by going parallel to first to second. In that second position, let's push a knee towards over the toe, arms wherever we want, and again, look to lift and hover for 3, 2, toe, ball, heel, pull across, wherever we want those arms, hands, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Toe, ball, heel, slide, press across, lift, hold, toe, ball, heel, push across, lift, 2, 1, toe, ball, heel. Final repetition, both sides here. Toe, ball, heel, And final repetition. Toe, ball, heel to center, push down to come up. Heel toe in, wiggle that on out, and let's come down here to say hello, goodbye. This has been a restore and recharge practice. There was a note earlier, one of our favorite members here was out for a bike ride and was ready to practice along. We practice once a day generally. Wednesdays is a little of an exception to that. But do one great thing every day for yourself, whether that's a bike ride, a golf game, a gardening session, and let us together stay strong and show you some simple drills to recover and add some balance to your lifestyle pursuit. That's Lauren.
Hi.
I'm Ian. We're Bars and Bells, and we'll be back. Visit our website at barsandbells.com. Subscribe on YouTube to our channel. And like and subscribe wherever I put it by the end. Thank you very much. Feel great. We do too. Hope you're a little bit warm like we are here in our sweats. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Goodbye.